Video tutorials by Andrew Buckle. In this tutorial I'm just going to show you how you can create an abstract patchwork design on using an image, using the image trace as well as swatches. Now I'm going to remove that, and first thing to do is show you how to create the pattern, and it's just going to be a very basic pattern which is a rectangle, and it's obviously filled with the older things. So what I want to do is go to appearance and clear appearance. Now I'm just going to fill it with, say, red, and now do object and pattern and make. So you're in the pattern editor now, and what you can do then, you can rotate that, and I'm just going to rotate it. Hopefully it will rotate. I've done this a few times doing test runs. It doesn't rotate every time, it has a mind of its own. Okay, direct selection tool, and I just want to drag that down a bit and hold the shift down so it's a sort of diamond shape. Now, opacity. What you want to do then, just go direct selection tool, and you can of course move it around. Just going to go to appearance, or you can go up here to the top bar, let's see, path, and you can change the opacity. Now that's not visible, then appearance is just as good. Okay, what you can do then, you can actually hold down the Alt key and you can create a few additional triangles. Now you can actually diamonds. What you can also do is add a stroke into it. It gives sort of a nice little line as well. So, okay, so you've got that design there. Now you don't have to go with obviously solid reds. You could do that, it's quite reasonable, but you can also change the colour, and I'm just going to go to, say, green, so you can create that, and then you hold the Alt down again, and hopefully it will create another path, and then you can of course scale it, or you can rotate it, and much more. Add blue there. Right, so you've got that abstract design now. Save it, save a copy, and you can see I've done a few test runs where I've actually got saved copies. So that's now saved. Now I want to move that over and come out of that. I've done now, and I'm going to remove that. Now I've got the swatches there. Now of course I can apply any of those. They're all basically created exactly the same way as I've just shown. Now go to File and Place, or of course you can use File Open, and I'm going to select a file, just one of these ones, Place, and just drag that out there. Now image trace, that's the next thing, and if you can't see, that's window image trace is there. I'm going to go for the black and white option. So just quickly trace that. As always with the image trace, the first result isn't always exactly what you'd like, because of course it just goes to the middle, so it's 128. So reduce it down a little bit so you can see more of the face and less of the hair. Right, once you've actually done that, you can then go to appearance, and it's still live, so you can actually modify it at any point later, and you can then add a new fill. Of course that's not much use, but you can actually just go over here now, or just select here and select that swatch. Right, so you've got the swatch there. You still can't really see much of the image. In fact, you can't see any of the image. So the next thing to do is opacity and darken, so you actually get the face. But I'm going to go for the lighten first. So lighten. So you can, what you see, you've got this patchwork design now for the hair. What you can then do, of course, you just go to fill, and you can say duplicate item. I'm going to use the same one, but what I can do then is opacity. I can go for darken, so I can actually combine that, and I'm just going to reduce that down so you can actually see more of the design. Right, okay. And also, of course, you don't have to go with that one. You can actually just go over here to apply maybe a different pattern. Now, you've got a nice, interesting patchwork design, which is fine. I think at that point you could actually finish. But you can also, of course, you can just go to the actual image trace, and you can just go there to opacity. Make sure you choose the right one. Of course, you can add more fills as well, but just going to go to opacity, and I'm going to say go down to, say, 15. Doesn't actually look very effective when you do that. So what you can do is then hold the Alt down and duplicate the other item as well. So just take a few seconds, and then you can create a sort of very abstract design just with two those. You can also rotate it, So it's slightly skew with to the, I was just quickly going through trying to reapply everything. Once it's done that, you can also go to opacity and darken and maybe lighten. And like I say, depending, you just play around with the different combinations of colour as well. Right, and of course you don't have to just do that once, you can do it 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times. Obviously maybe it's best to actually expand the image trace, otherwise it has a tendency to redo itself all the time. But there you have it, you've got a nice sort of abstract, sort of jagged, sort of maybe cubist-like design in a few minutes using any image. Hope you found this of interest.